Hi, it's Lonnie. Welcome to Grace Blossoms for You. Today it's time for week 15 of Roxy's Weekly Challenge 2025, and Rachel made some folios, and I've already made two, and so through experimenting and using different papers and whatnot, I think I have a way that I like better than another way. So Rachel did hers mostly with collaging. I'm not a huge fan of collaging. I did use a couple different papers though. So I was going to use one of my jelly prints, and I decided to combine that with music sheet or sheet music. I always say that wrong. Anyways, I will pick out a sheet and put those away. Also, you can make these different sizes, and I was thinking I wanted mine a little bit smaller. So I'm going to put this jelly print on the inside, and I'm going to make the pockets like so. I just wanted to make sure that I should have picked a different one, because this is going to show it's not going to show the music, it's just going to show, well, let's see what it'll show. I could easily just pick another sheet. So those are going to be the slits to put the pockets. And then, well, it does show a little bit of music, but I think I would like more showing. I think I'm just going to pick a different background sheet. All right, that's the one. Then you have to decide how high and how wide you want it. I like mine to fit in a smaller journal. So generally what I do is I fold my background sheet in half, and then I basically want this no longer than, say, about 4.5 inches, because I want it to be able to fit inside a journal. So I will just generally cut it. I'll pick a line and cut it. Like so. And I have music paper to play with. And also, for tall, I generally cut about 1 inch off at the top. Keep that strip because I like the music paper itself. Okay, so what's going to happen here then is a couple of things. I can make this piece of paper shorter and refold it, or I can just do that and adjust it on the page to where I like it. So I could either put it flush with the bottom and then have it sticking up at the top and then trimming it, or I can have that meet at the top and then just trim the excess from below. So I think I might actually do that. But first I want to glue down these flaps because I don't want them catching later. Also, it adds to the stability. Okay. So I hope you're doing well today, having some crafting time. These folios, I think, would come in really handy, even if, like, I plan to put it inside a journal, but that doesn't mean to say that they would have to stay in the journal. I think they would make a great set-apart gift, like a gift all in itself. Like Rachel mentioned putting pages in, like making a small signature and sewing that in. I think that also would be a great idea. In fact, I think I've pretty much made those with file folders before. And these are just smaller, but still, I think they would be really handy to have in as an aside gift, like standalone. Alright, so I'm just matching at my top, and then I'm going to just roughly draw a line to where to cut there. And then I'll just trim it out later. I have a hard time finding the right side up. I think I'll do that instead because there's writing on there. Alright, so this will be the 2 pockets. So, I was putting glue on the very center. Might not have to do that, but I think I want to do that still. Yeah, so busy day here today. My son is switching schools next year, and so we get to go to his new school and just kind of start to get him acclimated. And yeah, it's, you know, high school, so he's been at home taking online courses for the last 4 years, 5 years, I guess. And he wants to go back to in-person school, and he picked high school to do it in. So I'm a little nervous about the whole thing, but I guess we'll survive this too, if we're still here. Okay, so I also want to put glue on this edge and this edge. I don't know. I'm not feeling exactly comfortable with how these folios work. I guess I would need to probably practice a few more, but that's what we do, right? We keep making. So this will be my third folio. I do like how that looks with that jelly print though. It's different. And then on the outside, I'm going to do something yet too. A little extra glue. I just cleaned my table, but that's okay. It is the crafting table. So with the bottom, this part here is really nice and strong. From the top perspective though, this part here doesn't have a whole lot to, it's not very sturdy up top. So what I did with the first one is I came along, I started with the music paper, I put the sheet inside, and then I wrapped 2 more sheets on the outside. So I'm hoping to do something similar with this one, except because I have chosen that page, I don't know. I'm not the best normally at putting papers together, but I do think this will actually work because there is some beige in there, and you won't see this from the inside and you won't see this from the outside, so I think that should work. So I'm just going to, I don't know, do I want to cover up the whole thing? Okay, so this would be the front. If I put it like so, it would show up like that. I kind of like that. But the other option would be this way. And I think I like the other side better. Like so. Alright, we'll do that. I will do that. It was raining and snowing this morning, and I'm not sure what it is I hear outside now, but it almost sounds like some kind of a lawnmower for the park that we live next to. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. And I'm noticing that these 2 pieces are not exactly the same. Oh well, I can trim that off later. Alright, I'm going to fold this now so I can get a nice crease in there. I don't know what happened to my bone folder. Oops. Alright, then this side. Yeah, so I'm trying to think how I would decorate these, because now they are, you know, they're gonna be a little bit bulky because of all the pieces of paper. And if I wanted to stand alone as a gift, I might just put something very simple on there to decorate. Like, I don't know, even just like one word or like a label. All right, so then we trim. First I'll trim the big paper and then I'll see if I need to trim it down on one of the sides. I think these are actually very practical. In fact, I think they would make great gifts for like little gifts. Okay. So yes, it is completely wonky, and I guess I will be okay with that. So over here, I'm going to trim this. And then over here, I will trim this. And I guess I should see just how wonky it is, because if it's really bad, we have to fix these things. Okay, that's actually better than it may have looked at first. I don't mind the back edge sticking out, just, oops, that's not the back, that's front. Okay, I will trim that down just a bit more. If one edge is going to stick out, I prefer it to be the back. So that when you're flipping through it, there, like so, the back edge is sticking out a little bit now. Ugh. A little bit more than I like. Okay. Sorry to make you watch that. Now I have to make sure that, yeah, that's what I thought. I cut too much off so that the glue needs to be redone. How about this side? Still good. Oh, a little bit more over here. Just squish some in there. Okay. Now I think I want to round the corners. Just the top outside ones. Okay, and then I will ink the outside. And I will ink the inside of this one just so it doesn't show up quite as much over here. Yes, I have a birthday gift to send out in the very near future, and I was thinking this might actually be a good idea for that. So I was thinking some kind of a label. Could just even be a little something here just to differentiate the back from the front. And then I was thinking, because postage is so expensive and this will be larger than, well, this might actually fit into one of my bigger envelopes. So I was thinking I could put like journaling cards inside here, and one with a note saying happy birthday, and then maybe some blank pieces of paper to put in here. Now the question is, do I want to make this a notepads with extra paper? That was one of the options, and I kind of think I don't really want to do that, but I could. I'm just feeling it, how thick it is. And I have some of these like placards. That one's too big, obviously, but that would be kind of nice, I think. I think all the ones I have are too big. That one would be nice too, just simply because of the colors. Now, if I was going to not put this in the mail and put it in a journal, I would probably go with that. So I would need something extremely flat. I like that one too. What if I made one that's flatter, so not on such thick of a base, and then just kind of made something similar to this? Alright, let me try. I have this altered index card, or I could use I put it aside. See, I don't mind that color of the book page. So I happen to have this book page, and this one is very flimsy. It feels like it needs some kind of a backing after all. Wouldn't have to be thick, but how about this? Look at that. Then I could still kind of decide. Nope. I want it like so. Okay. I don't generally use a glue book. Sometimes I think I should, and other times, I don't worry about it. Alright, something like so. It's a little bit of a background so that it's not quite so flimsy. Okay. Then I need some burlap. Be right back. Thought better of it on my way to look for the burlap. Found this. I think it's tweed. I just wanted to have like this little piece. Okay, I'm just gonna strain that out here. Yeah, at first I thought it was upholstery fabric, but the more I look at it, the more it looks like tweed to me. So maybe something like that. kind of like the fringe on the side here. Maybe I'll put it like so. So yeah, I got this huge piece for, I don't know, $4 or $5. Wasn't gonna leave it there. Okay, I'm gonna try inking this again. I thought it would be good for journal covers. It's quite thick. Alright, so there's the base. Then that. And I need a word. I think I'll pick this one, Hopes and Dreams. And of course, I'm gonna need some kind of a butterfly. I confess I have entirely too many butterflies. It's just, I can't seem to let them be. I have to have them all. Oh, I think that one found its home. Okay, that one. Alright, so I'm gonna glue this down. I think I might need this glue because it's got some paint on there. Okay. That glue should work for this too. I know the Pritt stick would work. We use both. I want some ink on this guy. About there. Want the wing just to be off a little. And then, okay, this has that shiny, the shiny backing from the packaging. And I know it doesn't, the glue won't keep it. So I have to rough it up some, and I don't have my sandpaper right here. Okay. All right. I need, look at that, it didn't do anything. I might have to get my hot glue out. Hot glue gun. In fact, I shall do that. Hopefully there's still enough juice in there to help me out with this. But yeah, I like that. I think that will make a nice gift. So not much decoration is really needed. Just a little. But I'm glad I had these. These were, I think, originally made to be like journal toppers. At least most of them. So I will hang on to those for another time. I know some people use the word hoarding. I don't think of it that way. I just figure you always need to have something on hand for when the time comes to use it. So I just hold on to stuff until its time comes. So Because if you're always getting rid of everything that you have, and then it comes time that you need something, what are you going to do? You're going to probably think you can't do anything because you don't have anything. So I'm going to glue that body down too because it's kind of sticking up. All right. Whoops. I was going to do this one too yet. I don't think it's stuck. All right. See, I think this would be a nice gift even for someone who doesn't do like junk journaling. I think it would be functional enough that it would come in handy. Plus now it has a little bit of weight to it with the cover embellishment there. So yeah, that's my project for today. So check out Rachel's Roxy's Weekly Challenge, week 15, if you want to see more. Like I said, she did the collage thing, and I'm not generally... I like my projects to be a little quicker than all the collaging, so unless I'm doing like a master board, it's probably not going to be something I'm really into. Although, having said that, I kind of did here, didn't I? Anyways, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.